After losing their 16-year-old son's life, he suddenly comes back to life after mom's prayer. A teen Texas boy recently beat the odds by living after doctors said he had passed away through a cardiac arrest. Sammy had gone rock climbing with his friends, but quickly, what was supposed to be a fun and happy event turned into something sad. Jennifer received a distressing phone call informing her that her son Sammy was undergoing CPR as he was unresponsive. Craig, who previously served as a firefighter, understood that Sammy was receiving CPR due to his heart ceasing to beat. For most parents, the news of their child's heart stopping would evoke shock and fear. However, for the Burko family, the situation was particularly terrifying, as they had experienced a similar ordeal with their younger son in the past. 3 years earlier, during a rock climbing outing with friends, Sammy had stopped responding, resulting in the tragic loss of their son Frankie. Frankie's heart had stopped after a minor seizure when he was just 10 years old. Jennifer and Craig returned to the rock climbing facility, witnessing the intense efforts of the emergency medical technicians, EMTs, as they worked tirelessly to stabilize Sammy. Onlookers could only watch helplessly as doctors struggled to find Sammy's heartbeat, intermittently succeeding before losing it once more. Sammy was eventually transported to the hospital, where medical professionals administered CPR for 90 minutes to revive the teenager's breathing. Craig, while optimistic, was also aware of the possibility of an unfavorable outcome. He expressed his hope for a dramatic awakening akin to movie scenes but acknowledged a sense of déjà vu, reminiscent of a previous family tragedy. Despite the doctor's efforts to stabilize Sammy, they eventually declared him deceased, marking the second time the Burkos had faced the loss of a child. Jennifer and Craig were given a moment alone with Sammy in the hospital room to bid their final farewells. Jennifer offered prayers for her son while they both spoke to him, expressing pride in his accomplishments and regret for being unable to save him. However, he noticed subtle movements, initially dismissing them as illusions or signs of his own distress. Upon realizing Sammy was indeed struggling to breathe, Craig urgently summoned a doctor back into the room. The doctor informed Craig that his son might display symptoms of breathing difficulties. Upon entering Sammy's room and observing him, the doctor verified that the boy was still alive. Quickly, the medical team returned to Sammy's side and resumed their efforts. Despite swiftly moving Sammy to the ICU, the medical team faced another obstacle: his organs were deteriorating. Stimulating Sammy's brain seemed to be the only activity that had any effect. Jennifer remembered noticing Sammy's eye movements when she spoke to him, prompting her to take action. Throughout playing his favorite music, Jennifer engaged in continuous conversation with him. Following his mother's heartfelt conversation, Sammy soon opened his eyes, shifting the doctor's mood from despair to hope. After spending 2 weeks in the ICU, Sammy lost all memory preceding the accident, with his last recollection being signing a safety waiver at the rock climbing gym. His friends recounted what really happened to him. Sammy felt proud as he reached the top of the rock wall and rang the bell. Jennifer pondered how Sammy's experience might help her understand what happened to Frankie when she passed away 3 years earlier. Currently, Sammy is improving, but he still cannot walk unaided. Physicians are astonished by his progress, even labeling him a literal miracle since they initially thought he was lifeless. Jennifer realized a connection between her children's unusual experiences after they both encountered similar incidents. To investigate further, the entire family, including Frankie, underwent tests for a rare genetic disease. Jennifer's DNA sample was found in the hospital system, revealing that she and her children have catecholaminergic polymorphic ventricular tachycardia, a rare genetic condition causing irregular heartbeats due to adrenaline spikes. This explains why Frankie had a seizure and Sammy experienced difficulties during his climb. The Burko family has contemplated how different life might be if newborns were screened for the genetic disorder at birth, enabling early intervention and healthier lives. Jennifer and Craig believe that Sammy survived his ordeal because he cherishes life, he persevered because of his love for life. The Burkos acknowledge that their family dynamic has changed since Frankie's passing, forming a triangular bond. Nevertheless, they continue to love each other deeply and are grateful for one another. While the Burko parents saved their son, it is common for children to save their parents as well. In a similar scenario, a young girl rescued her mother when she had a seizure.